The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
My fellow Americans, Old Glory behind me represents the United States of America. Because the U.S. Constitution is no longer followed, we are a nation divided. Some choose to follow the man who has no proof of U.S. citizenship named Barack Obama, who purposely and repeatedly rejects the Constitution in favor of illegally holding the office of the presidency and doing his personal best to promote and protect Islam and destroy freedom for real Americans. Many of Barack Obama's followers desperately avoid the fact that the supposed long-form birth certificate, which Barack Obama offered to this nation on April 27, 2011, has repeatedly been shown to be a forged computer document by both professionals and amateurs alike. Not a single person on planet Earth can be found to authenticate the lie given to us by Barack Obama. Lest you forget, Barack Obama also hides any original birth certificate in Hawaii, and the state of Hawaii helps him to hide it. However, any clear-thinking individual would realize that neither the state of Hawaii nor any other human being anywhere in the world can provide an original birth certificate of Barack Obama to match the forgery given to us on April 27 via computer. Those with an interest of clearing the name of Barack Obama have also said that the offering we have on April 27 is not worth authenticating, and that they would only authenticate an original. The delay game to continue his criminality is in full force. If the birth certificate of Barack Obama were represented by a lottery ticket, the prize would continue to go up as nobody would ever have the winning number. In fact, the safest investment any American could now make would be to offer all their money to anyone who could provide any authenticity of Barack Obama's birth. You'd never lose a single dime. If I offered $10,000 to anyone who could find a legitimate original birth certificate in Hawaii, remembering they won't give this imaginary document to anyone, and Barack Obama is purposely hiding this imaginary document from us, that would match the grotesquely forged computer image offered to us this year in April, I would be quite confident that none of you would ever claim my money. You cannot authenticate the piece of garbage certificate he claims is his birth certificate. It has been proven forged countless times and not once proven legitimate. These facts render the office of the presidency of the United States taken captive by a man who lies about his birth to an entire country. As a result of this, either the flag behind me and the Constitution will be changed forever to suit the purposes of Barack Obama and his followers, or true Americans who know the meaning of both this flag and the Constitution will lay down their lives to protect America from Barack Obama and his followers. There are ridiculous accusations against you and I, everyday Americans, as fringe and small minority. True lunacy is the inability to recognize truth. In fact, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, lunacy and insanity apply to Barack Obama and his followers. They use accusations against us when they don't even grasp reality. They persist in covering for Barack Obama, and he persists in his lies and tyranny, expecting you and I to roll over. What a joke Barack Obama and his followers are making themselves out to become. Take another look at the flag behind me and decide if people like myself and the majority of everyday Americans are going to look the other way at the crimes of Barack Obama and those who enjoin to his crime of forgery. That which is silly, fringe, minority, and terrorizing is the man Barack Obama and all of his followers. We, the majority of everyday Americans, see through the blatant propaganda and easily recognize the tyranny and dictatorship taking place. So, those of you who hang your hat on the natural-born citizen clause of the Constitution, do not leave me or think for 1 second that I am not with you. First, however, let's deal with the lying. We do not have to be lied to repeatedly, day in and day out, that somehow, some magical way, Barack Obama was born in Hawaii and has any proof of it. This is false. He has a fake birth certificate, and this is no conspiracy. It's a fact. Wake up and smell the coffee, America. Words about natural-born citizenship or any other parts of the Constitution will not matter if real Americans will not do anything about those lying to us and ignoring the Constitution anyway. By the way, in Barack Obama's own words, he thinks it's silly for us to check his birth certificate. Yeah, it's his way of mocking us. What do we do now then? I have chosen to recognize the enemy occupying the White House and proceed to ignore him or any legitimacy of authority over me and my family. He has brought war, and so be it. Woe to those who support him, for they will fail. Barack Obama will fail. He will not bring his gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, pedophilic, immoral, godless, perverted ideas of sexual activity to my kitchen table, or to the majority of real Americans' kitchen tables. Further, he will not bring his fallacy of Islamic virtue to my kitchen table, or to the majority of real Americans' kitchen tables. Just like the example of the mosque in Kansas where the cops were called and a Christian prosecuted in court for handing out literature on a public walkway near the mosque, those Islamists successfully staked out territory in Barack Obama's new idea of America. Now, Barack Obama publicly advocates for the mosque near Ground Zero, where our countrymen were attacked by terrorists, and the Islamists want to stake out land there in New York City, where they actually attacked us. Obama thinks it's a great idea. I think it's war. The war on terrorism is now internal and around us every day. I wonder why the Muslim who killed 13 people on an American base down south and is still in jail not prosecuted continues to receive pay and benefits from the military. Might have something to do with the Koran being used in Lackland Air Force Base boot camp and indoctrination of new Air Force recruits. I merely tried to tell the Air Force why my family will not condone the sin of homosexuality or hide the doctrines of the Islamists to purposefully lie and ultimately rule the world under their Sharia law if it means killing all Jews and Christians, and for the practicality of my discussions, I get discharged. I've got news for Barack Obama and the rest of America. Our country was founded on ideals from the Bible and the Creator of heaven and earth. The Marines fought against Muslims at Tripoli long ago. Until Muslims disavow their dangerous and violent book of death, which seeks the subjugation of all people by force and the complete disregard for the female gender, I will continue to warn my family of Muslims and their terroristic doctrines. Barack Obama spews out support for this false religion, which is nothing more than a totalitarian political animal. Hence, his support to bring Muslims to power in Egypt and Libya. Christians and Jews have no life in Egypt, Libya, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran, and much of Africa. Do you think Christians and Jews could live any more freely or prosperously in the United States under further Islamic leadership and support by Barack Obama and his followers? I have watched videos of Muslims beheading their enemies, whipping their women, and burning alive people in Africa. Yeah, pretty disgusting statement, but it's true. I wanted to vomit. Hearing Barack Obama's love for the Quran and his Islamic friends personally terrorizes me and my family. But that's what Islam is all about, terrorizing the everyday real American who believes in the flag, this flag, and the Constitution. Special rights for the Muslims, like we give special rights to gays. I personally can't believe all the gays believe their freedom will last under Sharia law. I stand for God and country, not special rights to people living in sin or fake religions that want to conquer the world by raining terror and death and calling it peace. My plan in Omaha, Nebraska is to contact the following entities: city mayor, city council, police department, also sheriff, and as many schools and churches as I can find. Why? Because everyday freedom-loving Americans like myself, who are in the majority, do not need to be scared by all the cowardly propaganda, and I want to find out who believes and stands for what. In this war brought on by Barack Obama, a known criminal, I want to know who supports him so my family and I can know who our enemies in the city of Omaha are. That's right. If people protect the criminal in the White House, they are mine and my family's enemy. If they want to tear down Old Glory and replace it with the rainbow flag or the sinister flag of Islam, they are mine and my family's enemy. Which men out there hearing this video will take up the cause in their own cities to approach any and all forms of leadership and start identifying who the real Americans are and who are the lying, terrorizing, criminal supporters of Barack Obama? Which men? I saw a report in the Blaze that Omaha, Nebraska spent $8,000 of federal stimulus money to buy a book about multiculturalism and have everyone in the public education system read its garbage. Why do I say garbage? Because this is America, and if you don't like it, then you can leave. There is nothing wrong with other peoples or cultures, but you do not bring your divisive family values and politics hiding in the guise of religion to this country. Families first, God and country, real America. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or do you side with your enemy, the lying Barack Obama? Examine his birth certificate if you don't like what I'm saying. It's a fake just like he is. My name is Darren Moran. May God bless and use this video. Won't you hear my call to real men in this country to realize it's time to protect ourselves and our families from the domestic terror beginning in the White House and extending to mosques across the country? By the way, the TSA should get their filthy hands off of real Americans. Real Americans give up the freedom to fly so as not to be forced into some electronic gizmo displaying an image of their naked body, possibly being harmful to their health, and to avoid government-sponsored sexual assault. The excuse for each and every TSA worker that they are following training and don't know who the terrorists are does not hold water and is against the Constitution. Keep your filthy hands off of Americans, and your criminal boss, Janet Napolitano, should be thrown in jail for sponsoring terrorism against Americans. But she is, of course, following orders from Barack Obama to help him redefine this country from independent, freedom-loving Americans to blind slave people who can be controlled by a strong-willed dictator. Are you people sheep or people? It's time to collectively say no to Barack Obama and his followers. And another thing, the next time some thug cop with something to prove forgets he is here to serve and protect us, we should all go together and get him on video. I believe in our policemen and the purpose of their job, but just like our politicians have abused their place, some cops do that too. The laws not allowing us to video them are more communism and socialism. If America is just going to be some third world socialist dictatorship, I have no need to go and get another job. Why? If capitalism is dead, the social tyrannical government will take care of me. My job is to help real Americans out there get their heads out of the sand. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps from 1991 through 1995, and I'm appealing to all Marines both in and out of active duty. Semper Fi, Marines! Do we march for the flag and the Constitution or a lying dictator? Think about it, Marine. I spent 9 years in the Air Force until I was recently discharged. I'm appealing to all airmen. Do you think my aptitude scores to enter the military in the 4 subject areas, all in the 90s, mean nothing as far as intelligence? Do you think my measured IQ of 127 means nothing? Do you think all of the real Americans out there who believe everything I'm saying now are just lunatic and fringe? Get a grip on yourself. For the Army, Navy, and Coast Guard, of course I appeal to all your members. How long do you want to follow orders from an illegitimate commander-in-chief? Sure, he was elected, but he wasn't vetted, and you cannot find proof of his birth. His only offering is a proven forgery. I appeal to every real, everyday American out there, whom I believe in my heart are the majority of people. How long do you want to let the power of the media and propaganda hold you back from joining the war? If I collapsed of a heart attack right now, the Islamic world domination and enslaving Sharia law is still out there. Barack Obama and his forged birth certificate is still out there. You, America, are responsible. I will lead my family against Barack Obama and all of his followers, but I would like support. To those GOP hopeful candidates, when are you going to get bold and start talking about the forged birth certificate? If none of you do that, none of you deserve the GOP nomination. To Mr. Trump, why did you balk at informing America whether the release on April 27 was false or not? You had our ears for some time, but you, like the other GOP candidates, did not pull through. America, Barack Obama has waged war on us. I see it. I'm looking for help to fight him. He should be arrested today for his forged birth certificate. I will not protect his lie, and neither should you. It's time we decide if the flag means anything anymore, and if the Constitution means anything anymore. Under Barack Obama, they do not. To me, they mean everything, and I am willing to die to protect them and the real American way of life. Those at my kitchen table know I trust God in these matters. What do those around your kitchen table know? Will America yield to the tyrant, or will we depose him and his followers? Will we continue to yield ground to the Islamists, or will we stand our ground? Will we continue to yield our family values to perverted morals, or will we uphold the law on marriage and call homosexuality sin? Will America die, or will we fight to save her? I am beginning in Omaha, Nebraska. Where will you begin? Or will you not begin at all? You know, look at the world. The countries with the majority of the population being Muslims are nothing like America or what we stand for. In fact, they are terrible places to live for everyone, Muslims included. Is that what you want for America? More Muslim immigration, mosques, and births to Muslims? I think not. And the whole gay agenda is pretty much a joke. If all of America were gay, we wouldn't even have children. But then again, I forgot we already abort millions of babies. Don't even get me started on that. My heart breaks for people. We suffer too much. If men will not hear my call, speaking for their families, this flag, and our Constitution, America is defeated. We are already divided. Recognize why we are divided and who the enemy is. I read a story of a British soldier at the battlefield who saw the terrorists planting improvised explosive devices in the roadway. His superior officers told him he couldn't do anything about it, and so he shared his concern to his wife back home in England. 4 days later, the man was dead from the explosion and left his daughter without a daddy. Military men and women, is that the kind of weak, cowardly, Muslim-protecting command you want to exhibit? Americans, can't you see our troops don't even fight a war on terror abroad anymore? The war on terror is at home here in America. Overseas, we train the enemies, arm the enemies, and very often are attacked by our enemies, who, like Barack Obama, pose as our ally. Where's the famous SEAL team today? Lambs to the slaughter. How much blood do we need to see? I believe I have 6 to 8 pints myself, and they are all going to go 100% to this war in America. Who is with me? I refuse to be Barack Obama's little toy and Islam's trophy. No, sir, not me. Just like when I was on active duty in the Air Force in Germany recently, I still say, arrest Barack Obama, or arrest me. Barack Obama is the enemy of us all, and has no proof of his birth to give to us. Don't blame me, wake up, and blame Barack Obama. Now let's start canvassing our cities and all those in any position of authority. Whose side are they on? Real Americans like you and me? Or the enemies of this flag and the United States Constitution? Semper Fi, Marines! We owe no man, media, or religion our allegiance. We owe our God, our country, the flag, the Constitution, and our fellow Marines. For those of you who don't like what I had to say today, that's tough. I don't believe in political correctness, but in American exceptionalism and the truth. You may want to rehear what I've said. This is a war that Barack Obama wages on our liberty and strength to enforce the highest law of the land, our Constitution. He has brought this war to every American's doorstep, whether you like it or not. War is truly unwelcome, but you stand no chance to win if you are deceived about who your enemy is, guaranteed. I am not deceived, and I love my family, God, this flag, and the Constitution. So help me God.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.